Welcome back to the channel, Coin Collectors. If you're a fan of numismatics, today's video is one that's going to get you excited. We're going to explore a coin that stands out not only for its history but also for its rare value. That's right, today, we're talking about the 1965 Washington State quarter dollar. Now, you might be thinking, a 1965 Washington quarter? Is it really worth that much? Well, you might be in for a big surprise. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. Over the years, the design has remained iconic, with Washington's portrait on the front and a majestic eagle on the back. However, the 1965 Washington quarter is unique, particularly due to the events surrounding its production. The 1965 coin was minted during a time of significant economic change in America. The country was grappling with a coin shortage, so the U.S. government took steps to change the composition of some coins to conserve silver. For the Washington quarters, this was the first year that they were produced without any silver content. Instead, they were made with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change was monumental, as it marked the end of an era for the quarter's silver content, which had been a hallmark of U.S. currency for decades. Now, what makes the 1965 Washington State quarter dollar stand out from the rest? Well, it's not just about the year or the fact that it was made from a different metal than previous quarters. It's all about condition, rarity, and certain unique features that can drive up its value. The 1965 quarter was produced in large quantities, which means that for the most part, you'll find these coins in circulation with average wear and tear. However, some examples have survived in remarkably pristine condition, and these are the ones collectors are after. If you happen to find a 1965 Washington quarter in a high-grade condition, such as an MS-65 or higher, you could be looking at a coin worth a lot more than face value. Coins in mint state, meaning they look nearly brand new with little to no signs of wear, are always highly sought after by collectors, but that's not the only thing that can make this coin valuable. Some of the 1965 Washington State quarters were struck with minting errors. These errors can occur due to issues with the dies or the machinery during the production process. For example, if there's a double die or a die crack on the coin, these rare variations can increase the coin's value by a significant margin. Collectors go crazy for these kinds of errors, as they make the coin even more unique and desirable. A single minting error could push the value of the coin into the thousands of dollars. Now, it's also important to consider the coin's rarity. While the 1965 Washington quarter was minted in large numbers, it's the specific condition of the coin and its potential errors that make certain specimens rarer and more valuable than others. For example, if you find a 1965 quarter with a mistake that is extremely hard to find, or if you find one in perfect condition, it could be worth a small fortune. So, let's talk numbers. While most 1965 Washington quarters are worth just a few dollars, the ones in mint condition or with valuable minting errors can reach extraordinary prices at auctions and through private sales. In fact, a top-grade 1965 Washington quarter can fetch a stunning price of $101,000. Yes, you heard that right. $101,000 for a single 1965 Washington quarter. It's amazing to think that a coin that was once just part of your pocket change could now be worth such a huge amount of money. And with the demand for rare and historical coins constantly growing, it's no surprise that some of these 1965 quarters are fetching such high prices. So, if you happen to have one of these quarters in your collection, or you come across one while coin hunting, you could be sitting on a real treasure. The key to getting top dollar for a 1965 Washington quarter is understanding its value and condition. Whether it's a minting error or an uncirculated coin in perfect condition, if you have a rare find, make sure to get it graded by a professional numismatist. This way, you'll know exactly what you're holding in your hands, and you can decide whether to sell it or keep it as part of your collection. So, the next time you're out hunting for coins or going through your change jar, make sure to take a closer look at any 1965 Washington quarters you come across. Remember, with the right condition and the potential for minting errors, you could be looking at a coin worth a fortune. Today, we've got an exciting video lined up as we dive deep into a coin that is highly sought after by collectors, the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar from 2017. While this coin may seem like just another modern issue, trust me, there's much more to it than meets the eye, especially when it comes to its potential value. Stick around because you might be in for a huge surprise about just how much this coin could be worth. Now, let's rewind a bit. The Washington State Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington, the first President of the United States. This coin has gone through many iterations, with various designs being released over the years. The 2017 Washington State Quarter, however, stands out for a few reasons. You see, the U.S. Mint is constantly looking for new ways to honor states, national symbols, and historical figures on its coinage, and the 2017 Washington State Quarter was part of a larger series that continues the tradition of showcasing important aspects of American history. In 2017, the United States Mint released several different quarters, each featuring a unique design reflecting different states. These designs celebrated the rich heritage, culture, and natural beauty of the states, adding a touch of history to every coin. The Washington State Quarter for 2017, in particular, features a beautifully detailed depiction of Mount Rainier, Washington's iconic peak. The design captures the essence of Washington State, showcasing its natural beauty and connection to the great outdoors, something that holds immense pride for those living in the Pacific Northwest. But let's get to the exciting part, the value of this quarter. Now, most of the Washington State Quarters are not extremely rare in circulation, but some specimens have been known to fetch large amounts at auctions or through private sales. So, why is this particular 2017 quarter such a hot commodity? Well, it all comes down to the specific condition of the coin, its rarity, and, in some cases, minting errors. A typical 2017 Washington State Quarter found in your pocket change may be worth just its face value of 25 cents. But as any seasoned coin collector will tell you, it's the coins in perfect or nearly perfect condition that catch the attention of buyers and collectors. For example, a 2017 Washington State Quarter in mint state, meaning it looks like it just came off the press with no signs of wear, can be worth significantly more than just 25 cents. Add to that the possibility of unique minting errors, like double strikes or die cracks, and you're looking at a coin that could potentially fetch a fortune. So, what is the value of a truly exceptional 2017 Washington State Quarter? If you're lucky enough to have one of these coins in perfect condition or with an error, it could be worth up to $77,000. Yes, you read that correctly. $77,000 for just one coin. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? A modern coin like this, which you might think of as just another piece of pocket change, could actually be worth thousands of dollars. This is exactly why coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare finds, no matter how recent they might be. The key to unlocking the true value of this coin is all about its condition and any possible errors that may have occurred during the minting process. If you happen to come across a 2017 Washington State Quarter, don't just dismiss it as a regular coin. Take a moment to examine it closely. Does it have any unique features? Are there any signs of wear, or is it in pristine condition? If you spot something unusual, it might be worth having it evaluated by a professional numismatist or getting it graded by an accredited service. With the right grade and proper evaluation, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Remember, coin values fluctuate over time depending on market demand, rarity, and collector interest. What might seem like a modest quarter today could potentially become a highly coveted piece in the future. As collectors continue to seek out specific years, mint marks, and error varieties, the 2017 Washington State Quarter may just be one of those coins that increases in value as time goes on. So, to all the collectors out there, keep your eyes peeled for this one. The 2017 Washington State Quarter may just be the next big find in your collection. And who knows? Maybe you've already got one hidden in your change jar or among your old coins. If you do, make sure to give it a closer look. You never know, it could be worth much more than you think. Today, we've got a really exciting topic for you, a coin that might just be hiding in your collection or in your change jar, and it could be worth a lot more than you think. We're talking about the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar from 2014. Now, you might be thinking, it's just another quarter, right? But trust me, there's much more to this particular coin than you'd imagine. The Washington State Quarters were part of the 50 State Quarters program that ran from 1999 to 2008, but in 2014, the U.S. Mint released a special commemorative series that continued to honor the states with these beautiful quarters. Each coin is unique, reflecting something special about the state it represents. And while you might not think of 2014 as an especially noteworthy year for coin collectors, this Washington State Quarter could prove you wrong. The design on the 2014 Washington State Quarter celebrates the beautiful state of Washington with a tribute to its rich history, culture, and natural beauty. The coin features a design with Mount Rainier, one of the most iconic landmarks in the state, set against a backdrop of pine trees. It's a beautiful representation of Washington's natural splendor, a place known for its majestic landscapes and stunning scenery. The 2014 Washington State Quarter also bears the familiar portrait of George Washington, as is tradition with all Washington quarters, but it's the combination of this timeless design and the 2014 mint mark that has many collectors buzzing. Now, you might be asking yourself, what makes this 2014 quarter so special? Well, the truth is that a coin's value isn't just determined by its design or age. It also depends on factors like rarity, condition, and even errors during minting. For example, while most 2014 Washington State Quarters are still circulating and may only be worth their face value of 25 cents, certain versions of this coin, especially those in perfect or near-perfect condition, can fetch a pretty penny. Let's take a look at what makes this coin potentially worth so much. Coins in mint condition are always in demand, especially by collectors who want to add flawless pieces to their collections. The 2014 Washington State Quarter could be an excellent candidate for those looking to fill gaps in their State Quarter series or to add a rare specimen to their portfolio. Additionally, special varieties and errors, such as double strikes or misprints, can drastically increase the coin's value. While most 2014 Washington State Quarters might seem like common finds, if you manage to get your hands on one that's in mint condition or has an unusual feature, you could be looking at a high-value coin. So, what are we talking about in terms of numbers here? If you have a well-preserved 2014 Washington State Quarter that meets certain conditions, it could be worth up to $99,000. That's right, $99,000 for just one coin. Can you imagine finding such a coin tucked away in a drawer, or better yet, in your pocket change? The value of coins can sometimes surprise even the most seasoned collectors, and this particular quarter is no exception. As with many collectibles, it's all about the right timing, the right condition, and, in some cases, the right error or rarity. Now, what should you be looking for if you suspect your 2014 Washington State Quarter might be more valuable than just a regular quarter? First, check the coin's condition. If it's well preserved, with no signs of wear, scratches, or damage, it could be a good candidate for higher value. Coins that are graded as MS-65 or higher, meaning they're in mint state with minimal imperfections, tend to bring in the highest prices. Second, if you notice any unusual minting errors, like doubling on the lettering or design, it could significantly increase the coin's worth. Errors are often overlooked by casual collectors, but they can be a goldmine for those in the know. The more unique the error, the more valuable the coin could be. So, if you have a 2014 Washington State Quarter, take a closer look. It might just be a rare gem in disguise. At the end of the day, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and coins like the 2014 Washington State Quarter remind us that even modern issues can have significant value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin serves as a reminder that rarity and condition are key factors that can determine a coin's worth. So, if you're holding onto a 2014 Washington State Quarter, don't just overlook it. Take the time to inspect it, consider its potential value, and remember that even recent coins can sometimes yield unexpected rewards. You might just have a small fortune sitting in your pocket right now. Today, we're going to be diving deep into one very special coin, the 2010 Washington State Quarter Dollar. You might have seen it, you might even have it in your collection, but did you know that this relatively recent coin could be worth an astonishing amount of money? the Washington State Quarter Dollar is part of the series issued by the U.S. Mint as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was designed to celebrate the 50 states, with each quarter representing a different state and featuring a unique design related to that state's history or culture. While the program officially ended in 2008, the U.S. Mint continued releasing commemorative quarters, and the 2010 issue was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters series. Now, you might think that a coin from 2010 isn't all that old or rare. After all, the U.S. Mint still produces these quarters today, so what's the big deal? But just like any coin, there are certain factors that can make a particular year or mint mark stand out, and that's exactly what we're looking at with this 2010 Washington State Quarter Dollar. You see, when it comes to coins, rarity is the name of the game, and certain versions of this coin have managed to catch the eyes of collectors, investors, and experts alike. What makes the 2010 Washington State Quarter Dollar so special? First, let's talk about the design. The design on this coin features a beautiful depiction of Mount Rainier, one of the most famous landmarks in the state of Washington. The mountain is surrounded by lush forests, which perfectly represent the state's stunning natural beauty. This design captures the essence of Washington's rugged landscape and its pride in being home to such a magnificent feature. It's a beautiful and symbolic coin that celebrates the state's unique identity. So, where does the value come in? As with most coins, the value isn't just in the design or the year it was minted, it's about rarity, condition, and sometimes even unique errors that can drive up a coin's worth. Most of the 2010 Washington State Quarters were minted and circulated, and in typical condition, they're only worth face value, 25 cents. However, things start to get interesting when you come across a coin in pristine condition or, better yet, one with an error or special feature. Coins that are in mint condition, meaning they show no signs of wear, scratches, or other damage, are highly sought after by collectors. If you have a 2010 Washington State Quarter Dollar in mint state, it could be worth far more than just a quarter. Mint state coins are graded based on their condition, and those that receive the highest grades can fetch some impressive prices. Now, let's talk about what really makes this coin exciting. Some 2010 Washington State Quarters have been found with minting errors, such as double strikes or misprints, which can drastically increase the coin's value. These errors make the coin unique and often extremely valuable to collectors. Finding a coin with a minting flaw like this can take a common coin and turn it into a rare treasure that's worth thousands. So, what's the potential value of a 2010 Washington State Quarter Dollar? If you manage to find a well-preserved example in mint condition, or even better, one with a rare error, it could be worth an incredible amount of money. In fact, some 2010 Washington State Quarters have been known to fetch as much as $93,000. Yes, you heard that right, $93,000 for a single coin. The truth is, coin collecting is a fascinating hobby that often surprises us with its hidden treasures. Coins that might seem ordinary at first glance can hold incredible value, and the 2010 Washington State Quarter Dollar is a perfect example of how a modern coin can be worth so much more than face value. Whether you're a collector on the lookout for rare finds or just someone who loves learning about the world of numismatics, coins like this remind us that there's always more to discover in the world of coin collecting. So, what should you do if you suspect that you have one of these valuable 2010 Washington State Quarters? First, check its condition. If the coin is in perfect condition with minimal wear and tear, it's worth taking it to a professional grader to get an official assessment. If you notice any unusual minting errors, like double strikes or missing details, don't hesitate to get it appraised. Those small imperfections can make a huge difference in the value of the coin. Today's video is one you don't want to miss. We're going to be talking about a particular coin that you might already have in your collection or could stumble upon in your pocket change, the 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another modern quarter, but trust me, this coin has more to offer than meets the eye. You see, the 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar is part of the America the Beautiful Quarter series, which continues to commemorate the beauty and diversity of the United States. This series highlights national parks and landmarks across the country, and the 2019 coin is no exception. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of history that carries immense value in the right circumstances. Now, let's break down why this particular quarter has so much buzz around it. The 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar features a beautiful and detailed design celebrating the Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts. This is the 51st quarter in the America the Beautiful series, and it's packed with symbolism. The design showcases the history of the Industrial Revolution, with a millworker in the foreground and the iconic mill buildings in the background. This stunning piece represents not just the park itself but the legacy of the early American industrial age, a crucial chapter in U.S. history. While most people might only notice these quarters when they come across them in their change, the real value of these coins is hidden in their rarity, condition, and sometimes errors that occurred during minting. That's right, just because a coin is relatively recent doesn't mean it can't be worth a significant amount of money. The 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar, in particular, is one of those coins that has caught the attention of collectors due to its limited release and the specific features that make it stand out. So, why are we talking about its worth today? Well, here's where things get exciting. As with many coins, their value skyrockets when they are in pristine condition. A coin that has been well preserved, showing little to no signs of wear or damage, is going to be worth far more than a coin that's been circulated a lot. If you have a 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar that's in mint condition, you're already looking at a potentially higher value than its face value of just 25 cents. But here's where things get even more interesting: mint errors. Mint errors are one of the most thrilling parts of coin collecting. Imagine you come across a 2019 Washington State Quarter that has some unique error, perhaps a double strike, a misprint, or some other flaw that makes the coin one of a kind. These types of mistakes can drive a coin's value through the roof, and with the 2019 quarter, some of these rare errors have already been identified and are commanding astonishing prices. The truth is, the rarer the coin, the higher the price it can fetch. And when it comes to a coin like the 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar, some have sold for incredible amounts of money. This is not just a dime a dozen coin, it's one that, in perfect condition or with minting errors, could be worth a lot more than you think. In fact, some of the most sought-after 2019 Washington State quarters have fetched up to $83,000. That's right, $83,000 for a single quarter. The value of these coins has caught many by surprise, especially since it's only a few years old. But as any serious coin collector will tell you, the value of a coin isn't just about how old it is. It's about its rarity, its condition, and sometimes, even the unique characteristics it might possess. So, what does this mean for you? Well, if you're a collector, it's time to carefully inspect your coins. If you happen to find a 2019 Washington State quarter in mint condition or with an error, you might be holding on to a valuable treasure. And even if you don't currently have one, it's always a good idea to keep an eye out. Sometimes, valuable coins show up when you least expect it, but what should you do if you think you found a rare one? First, inspect the coin carefully. Look for any imperfections, especially those that could be categorized as minting errors. These can include things like double strikes, off-center designs, or missing lettering. If you spot something unusual, get your coin appraised by a professional. A certified coin dealer or numismatist can help you determine its authenticity and value. There's no doubt that the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, and the 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar is just another example of how modern coins can become valuable pieces of history. Who would have thought that a quarter from just a few years ago could be worth $83,000? If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the 2019 Washington State Quarter Dollar, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change? We'd love to hear your stories. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on the latest coin news and valuable finds. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures. Who knows what you might find next?